no doubt that Africa is the world's wealthiest continent. No doubt that Africa is the world's wealthiest continent, right? That's agreeable by majority of everyone in the planet. Africa is the richest on human capital and resource capital, which means Africa should live like the world's wealthiest, richest, beautiful place on the planet. Okay, we've had some setbacks over many centuries. And the source of the setback is well known. We are enslaved. We created one of the Africa, Black Africa, created the world's largest slave capital on the planet. There has been no other people who are enslaved who have created so much wealth on another hemisphere than the Africans. Now, we have now secured some form of independence in Africa. And that's the question I keep asking. Why is Africans bouncing around? Why is Africans and African countries keep begging for something they can do on their own? Development, technology, science, institutions are something that is inherent in an average human being. You want to see your own nation be developed. You want to see growth. Then you must do it. You got to get with the game. You got to get your own game going. You can't be bouncing around people whose goals is for their own people. If you see an American, a British, a Russian in Africa, they're not for Africans. Get it through your mindset. Get it through your own. You are in a competition with this person. Africans in diaspora, Africans, enslaved Africans in diaspora, collectively account for trillions of dollars of wealth they built for the colonial and now the colonial and now the imperialist nations comprising of mostly Western and Eastern hemispheres. To make this clear, there will never be a China that love Africa. They're only pretending that they love Africa. Their ultimate goal, just like the ultimate goal of our enslavers, is the same thing. They are just using different techniques. And I'm not the only one saying this because I'm not even an expert in this area. But it's obvious that you cannot live 1 million miles, several thousands of miles of a good life in China and end up in Africa. What are you doing there? You cannot have a beautiful life in Russia and you live that life alone and you end up in Nigeria pretending that you're trying to help Nigeria or end up in Congo. What is France and the rest of the Western world doing in Africa? The same thing with different tricks. So if Africa really wants to utilize its new independence, it's got to stop bouncing around. That's my point. You got to look into yourself. You got to build a new world. Do for self. Build your nation the way you want it. Invest your time and resources in your people and in retention of your people. So, because people is one of the highest capital, and that's what happened. In slavery, what did they take? They take resources and people. What happened in neocolonialism? They are taking our people right now. What's happening in imperialism? Imperialism is direct removal of people to the West so they can help build the West. Removal to Asia so they can build Asia.